My lords, the legislators of Oceana, my lord Philautus hath made a thing which is easy to seem hard. If he owed the thanks unto his eloquence, it would be worthy of less praise than that he oweth it unto his merit and the love he hath most deservedly purchased of all men. Nor is it rationally to be feared that he who is much beforehand in his private should be in arrear in his public capacity. Wherefore, my lords, tenderness throughout his speech, arising from no other principle than his solicitude lest the agrarian should be hurtful unto his country, it is no less than my duty to give the best satisfaction I am able unto so good a patriot, taking every one of his doubts, in the order proposed, and first, whereas my lord, upon observation of the modern commonwealths, is of opinion that an agrarian is not necessary. It must be confessed that at the first sight of them there is some appearance favoring his assertion, but upon accidents of no precedence unto us. For the commonwealths of Swiss and Holland, I mean of those leagues, being situated in countries not alluring the inhabitants unto wantonness, but obliging them unto universal industry, have an implicit agrarian in the nature of them, and being not obnoxious unto a growing nobility, which as long as their former monarchies spread the wing over them, could either not at all be hatched, or was soon broken, are of no example unto us, whose experience in this point hath been unto the contrary. But what if, even in these governments, there be indeed an explicit agrarian? For when the law commands an equal, or near equal, distribution of a man's estate and land among his children, as in those countries, a nobility cannot grow, and so there needeth no agrarian, nor is one. And for the growth of the nobility in Venice, if so it be, for Machiavel observes in that republic, as a cause of it, a great mediocrity of estates, it is not a point that she is to fear, but might study, seeing she consisteth of nothing else but nobility, by which whatever their estates suck from the people, especially if it come equally, is digested into the better blood of that commonwealth, which is all or the greatest benefit they can have by accumulations. For how unequal soever you will have them to be in their incomes, they have officers of the pomp to bring them equal in expenses, or at least in the ostentation or show of them. And so, unless the advantage of an estate consists more in the measure than in the use of it, the authority of Venice but enforceth our agrarian, nor shall a man evade or elude the prudence of it by the authority of any other commonwealth. For if a commonwealth have been introduced at once, as those of Israel and Lacedaemon, you are certain to find her underlaid with this as the main foundation, nor, if she have owed more unto fortune than prudence, hath she raised her head without musing upon this matter, as appeareth that by that of Athens, which, through her defect in this point, saith Aristotle, introduced her ostracism, as most of the democracies in Greece. Ob hanc itaque causam civitatis que democratici administrantur ostracismum instituunt. But not to restrain a fundamental of such latitude unto any one kind of government, do we not see that if there be a sole landlord of a vast territory, he is the Turk? That if a few landlords overbalance a populous country, they have store of servants? That if a people be in equal balance, they can have no lords, that no government can otherwise be erected than upon some one of these foundations, that one of these foundations, each being else apt to change into some other, can give any security unto the government unless it be fixed, that through the want of this fixation, potent monarchies and commonwealths have fallen upon the heads of the people, and accompanied their own sad ruins with vast effusions of innocent blood? Let the fame, as was the merit, of the ancient nobility of this nation be equal unto or above what hath been already said or can be spoken. Yet have we seen not only their glory, but that of a throne, the most indulgent too, the least invasive for so many ages upon the liberty of a people that the world hath known, through the mere want of fixing her foot by a proportionable agrarian upon her proper foundation, to have fallen with such horror as hath been a spectacle of astonishment unto the whole earth. And were it well argued from one calamity that we ought not to prevent another? Nor is Aristotle so good a commonwealthman for deriding the invention of Phileas, as in recollecting himself, where he saith that democracies, when a lesser part of their citizens overtop the rest of wealth, degenerate into oligarchies and principalities, and which comes nearer unto the present purpose, that the greater part of the nobility of Tarentum, coming accidentally to be ruined, the government of the few came by consequence to be changed into that of the many. These things considered, I cannot see how an agrarian, as to the fixation or security of a government, can be less than necessary. And if a cure be necessary, it excuseth not the patient, his disease being otherwise desperate, that it is dangerous, which was the case of Rome, not so stated by Machiavel, where he saith that the strife about the agrarian caused the destruction of the commonwealth. As if, when a senator was not rich, as Crassus held, except he could pay an army, that commonwealth could have done other than ruin, whether in strife about the agrarian or without it. Nuper divitiae avaritiam et abundantes voluptates